Hello. Okay, so we are going to talk about integrals involving partial fractions. So the skill that is needed here is partial fraction decomposition from algebra. Okay, so what if na-encounter nyo ang ining problem? So we are looking for the integral of 6x squared plus 4 over x cubed plus 2x minus 3 dx. So before you proceed to partial fraction decomposition, base pa lang, maagi ni siya sa u substitution. So as usual, we focus on our denominator. Okay, so if u is the denominator x cubed plus 2x minus 3, then the du, its derivative is 3x squared plus 2 dx. So look at your numerator, because maybe you can factor this out wherein makita mo si 3x squared plus 2, diba? So if I rewrite this whole thing, I can actually factor this out into 2, 3x squared plus 2 all over x cubed plus 2x minus 3 dx. Okay, and as we usually do, ang aton nga constant magwa integral of. Okay, so ang u naton was x cubed plus 2x minus 3. So let's put u down here. And then I can now see my du. Here it is. So I'll just write 1 over here and then du over here, and the integral of this expression is 2 ln u plus c. So if I plug back all of these expressions over there, so may ni siya nga 2 ln, ang u ko, x cubed plus 2x minus 3 plus c. Alright, so base pa lang, it can be processed or solved using the u substitution. But what if you have this problem? Okay, so if I focused on the denominator, turn this into u, my du should be 3x squared plus 2x minus 6. But my numerator, bisan ano ko pa na nga pilit, daw hindi ko gid siya ma-factor out, wherein makita ko si 3x squared plus 2x minus 6 dx. Daw wala gid siya sa. So therefore, I will just use partial fractions decomposition. Okay. Once again, focus on our denominator. I can factor this out into x, and then x squared plus x minus 6. Pwede pa siya ma-factor out kay isa pagid. So, okay, 6. So, 3 and 2. So, positive x. So, plus 3 minus 2. Okay. So, since ang aton nga mga degrees are just 1, 1, 1, I can say that this can be equal to a over x plus b over x plus 3 plus c over x minus 2. Okay. So another thing that I forgot to mention was we can do this right away if the degree of my numerator is less than my denominator. So observe that the degree of my numerator is 2 versus the degree of my denominator which is 3. So 2 is less than 3, therefore proceed kita sa partial fraction decomposition. Okay? Okay. So, how do we find A, B, and C? So, write the whole thing so that it looks like 6x squared minus 28x minus 18 all over x times x plus 3 times x minus 2 equals A over x plus B over x plus 3 plus c over x minus 2. Okay, the one that we're going to use for this example is called heavy sides cover up method. All right. Okay, now focus on A only. and its denominator, which is x. So, we want to turn our denominators into 0. So, wala naman siya ibanding upod. So, x is simply equal to 0. Okay, we call it cover up because for the meantime, we will cover up this, the x. Okay, amo na iyang denominator. Okay, and with that, ang matabo, we'll substitute all x's into 0. 28 times 0 minus 18 all over. So, ignore ta si x, diba? So, proceed kita sa 0 plus 3 and then 0 minus 2. Okay. And then solve. This is 0. This is 0. I have negative 18 all over. 3 and negative 2 is negative 6. Negative 18 over negative 6 is just positive 3. So, A is equal to 3. Yay! Now, focus on B. So, for B, we want to turn this denominator to 0. Therefore, our x should be negative 3. Okay, heavy sides cover up method means we will cover this up, danay. Okay, so substitute all our x's into negative 3. Oops, sorry. Change color. 6 times negative 3 squared minus 28 times negative 3. Okay, dayon lang. Oops, sorry. Negative 3 times negative 3 minus 2. Okay. So that's 9 times 6. That's 54. Negative plus 84 minus 18 all over negative 5 times negative 3 is a positive 15 equals 8. So B is equal to 8. Okay. Proceed to C. Yay! So, x minus 2 ang iya denominator. Para may mo na siya nga 0, x should be equal to positive 2. Okay. Now, covering up this guy. And then substitute everything else with 2. Oops. So, that's 6. 2 squared minus 28 times 2 minus 18. And then 2. And then 2 plus 3. Okay, equals. 4 times 6 is 24 minus 56 minus 18. 5 times 2 is 10. Negative 5. So, C is equal to negative 5. Yay! So, yay! We have here the complete values for A, B, and C. Okay. And I have to minimize this guy. 1 second. Patala siya sa corner. Alright. So, we can now actually rewrite the integral as 3 over x plus 8 over x plus 3 plus, minus 5, kay negative 5 si C mo, x minus 2, all of them naka-dx. Now, before you get all excited and write ln right away, observe nyo gid guys dapat nga ang inyo nga denominator, if you turn that into a u, ang iya na dapat nga du is simply dx. So, since puro lang man x, wala man the x squared or whatever, you can just proceed, right? Okay. So, that means, the integral for this very long partial fraction here is simply 3 ln x plus 8 ln x plus 3 minus 5 ln x minus 2 plus c. Alright. Diba? Nakahapos lang. Okay. Let's try another example. What about this? So, 3x plus 1 over 3x squared minus 5x plus 2. If you treat your denominator as u, obviously, ang iya sina nga du should be 6x minus 5. Kag bisan ano mo ni ka factor ang sa babaw, hindi agad kalabot da. So, oh no, partial fraction decomposition ta. Now, focusing on our denominator, paano to na siya i-factor out? So, you have so many methods, pero mo ni siya nakita ko sa internet na doon hapusan ko. Pindisin nyo, pindisin nyo. So, what I would do is, I would treat this as A, B, and C, ang ila coefficients, no? Ang sa babaw sang akon nga x would be 8 times C, which is 3 times 2 or positive 6. Meanwhile, ang sa dalom sang akon x would be B, which is negative 5. This is factor 1 and factor 2. Now, think of two numbers that when you multiply become 6, and if you add them, they become negative 5. So, it's negative 3 times negative 2 will give me 6 positive, and then if I add negative 3 and negative 2, I will get negative 5. So let me write it here. All right, and then after sina, we can factor by grouping. So what you do is you drop your a here, 3x squared, and then factor 1, 3x, and then factor 2, 2x. So let me write that f1, f2, this is your a, and lastly your c plus 2. So, A, F1, F2, C. Okay. So, ang common sa ila for between A and F1 would be 3x, right? So, I'm left with x minus 1. And then, for F2 and C, ang common is 2. But I have to copy the sign negative. So, that's 2 here. And then I have x. And since positive ang sasulod, I need to turn this into a negative. So, negative and negative will give me positive. Now, with the rules of factoring by grouping, that means my factors are, sinong similar? Ang 2 ka x minus 1. What's left? Ang 3x minus 2. These are the factors of 3x squared minus 5x plus 2. So you have if you have like a different way to solve this, you're free to do so. Mula ni akon, okay? Now, let's proceed. Therefore, I can write this expression as a over ang factor ko nga x minus 1 plus b and ang factor nga 3x minus 2. Okay, I only used a and b because at this point, ang degrees ng denominators are just 1. Wala pa sila naka-x squared or anything like that. Puro lang x, no? So, 3x plus 1 all over x minus 1. Okay, ginari-write ko lang Alright. Now, we are going to focus on A. Focus on A. If I want to turn this denominator into 0, my x should be a positive 1. The cover-up method says I will just ignore x minus 1 at this point and then substitute all the other x's into 1 plus 1 all over 1 minus 2. This will give me 3 plus 1 of 4. 3 minus 2 is just 1. Therefore, A is equal to 4. Alright. Now, let's focus on B. So, if I want to turn this denominator, 3x minus 2, into 0, my x should be a positive 2 over 3. Cover-up method says I'll ignore this part and then substitute everything with 2 over 3. So that's 3 times 2 over 3 plus 1 and 2 over 3 minus 1. Okay. Cancel, cancel. 2 plus 1 is 3. 2/3 minus 1 is negative 1/3. Reciprocal, may mo nga negative 9. So, B is negative 9. Okay. So, let me just, pagamayan ko lang eh. One moment. Alright. Now, let's say that we are looking for the integral of 4 over x minus 1 plus, oh, joke, negative 9 over 3x minus 2 dx. Okay. So, si 4 over x minus 1, hapos lang na saya. Abot na siya dayon nga ang integral is 4 ln x minus 1. Why? Because if you treat the denominator as u, nga x minus 1, ang iya nga du is just dx, no problem. Meanwhile, this term, wherein if the denominator is u, 3x minus 2, the du should be 3 dx. Pero may 9 na kita da sa babaw. So, we have to factor out a 3. Okay, so let's chop the whole expression. So, this guy, the first term becomes 4 integral of 1 over x minus 1 dx. Minus. At kinanglan ko makakita 3 dx. So, out of 9, I can take out 3. So that I am left with 3 over 3x minus 2 dx. Yay! And with that, I can just solve this like I did earlier. F of x, the integral is 4 ln x minus 1 minus 3 ln 3x minus 2 plus c. Okay? So, I hope that you understood this part. I forced this guy to become like a 1 over u scenario para, because ang ako nga diyo nahimo na siya nga 3dx. Okay? So, this is the integral of the expression over here. Okay, let's try another example. Last example for this video. So, what if ang ginapangita is the integral of x cubed plus 4x squared minus 2 all over x squared minus 1. So, looking at our numerator, ang degree niya is 3. Meanwhile, ang sa dalom is 2. So, if the degree of your numerator is greater than your denominator, maagigid kita sa long division. But, if you have other ways to divide the polynomials here, then you can do so. Amo lagi din nabalaan ko. If i-divide na siya, just rewriting x squared minus 1. Alright, x cubed divided by x squared is x. Multiplying, so that's x cubed minus x. And then, subtracting, this is going to be cancelled out. Negative and negative, joke lang, wala pa. Drop na lang si 4x squared. Ano yung problema? Okay, ko siya na-align mayo. So, 4x squared, gin-drop ko, minus and minus would be a positive x minus 2. Now, 4x squared divided by x squared is a positive 4. Multiply, may mo siya nga 4x squared, and then negative 4, negative 1 and 4 is negative 4. So, at least may linyahan ko, ginawala dx eh. Subtract, cancel, drop ko si x, negative and negative is positive 4, so positive 4 minus 2 is positive 2. That means the quotient of x cubed plus 4x squared minus 2 divided by x squared minus 1 is plus x plus 2 all over x squared minus 1. Amo niya quotient, guys. X plus 4 plus x plus 2 over x squared minus 1. Amo ni siya, guys, ang aton nga integrate. So, let me just rewrite it over here. Let me erase this one. Okay. We are actually integrating x plus 4 plus x plus 2 all over x squared minus 1. Though feeling nyo magamit na kamo sa partial fraction decomposition, no? X squared minus 1 can actually be factored out into x plus 1 times x minus 1. No? Though hulapos ni siya pangitaan factors, yeah. Okay, so all of them naka-dx. So with that, we will just leave out x plus 4, danay. Kaya kabalo na tas ang iyasin ang mga integrals and focus on x plus 2 over x plus 1 times x minus 1. I know that you already know we can rewrite that as a over x plus 1 plus b over x minus 1 since our degrees are just 1 pa lang man. Now, if we focus on a, ang aton sini nga denominator will be 0 if our x is equal to negative 1. Okay, so with that, oopsies, let me change color. With that, just substitute everything by not everything, but all the x's by negative 1, but cover up x plus 1. So, negative 1 minus 1. Negative 1 plus 2 is positive 1, negative 1, negative 2. So, ang aton nga a is negative 1 half. Alright, let's focus on b this time. If you want the denominator to be 0, therefore your x should be equal to positive 1. And with that, substitute all your x's by 1. 1 plus 2. Pero cover up mo niyo. So that's 1 plus 1. And then you are left with 3 over 2. Therefore, b is just 3 over 2. Now. As observed, we are actually integrating x plus 4 plus, ari naman ko liwat, minus 1 half times 1 over x plus 1 plus 3 over 2 times 1 over x minus 1. And all of them dx. Focus on each term when you're integrating, no? The integral of this expression is just, diba si x is x squared over 2 plus si 4 is 4x. So, buong si negative 1 half mo is a constant. So, pagwaa siya. Since you have your x plus 1, so it's pretty obvious that your du is already 1. So, no problem with using ln x plus 1. And then you have a 3 halves over here plus 3 over 2. Similar situation with earlier. Ang iya nga u will be just dx. So, no problem with using ln x minus 1 plus c. So, this is the integral of x cubed plus 4x squared minus 2 over x squared minus 1. Okay, so what you may have observed is, amo na, if mas taas ang degree sa babaw, like in this case x cube, so sa dalom yung x squared lang, you'll have to go through long division wherein you will get some constants like x, you have your 4 over here, and then miyara ka sang part nga kinanglan mo sang partial or partial fraction decomposition. Yep. Yeah. Sige, so next part naman manindan na ya.